800-meter freestyle finals. 800 meters, 16 lengths of this 50-meter pool. In lane 1, number 1, Nancy Grigg, who is 15 years old from Burbank, California. In lane 2, 17 years old from Fairfax, Virginia, Jillian Hall, one of our competitors to watch. In lane 3, Marilyn Peck, who'll be a junior this year. Out of San Diego, California, she's just 15 years old. In lane 4, Wendy King, 14 from Omaha, Nebraska. In lane 5, I think John Neighbor, the favorite, Jennifer Linder, who is 16 from Des Moines, Iowa. Then in lane 6, it's Catherine Creighton, 15 years old from Cincinnati. In lane 7, Sherry Countryman, 15 years old from Brown Deer, Wisconsin. And in lane 8, Molly Magill, 14 years old from Tampa, Florida.
800 freestyle is 16 lengths of this Olympic-sized pool. This being the first event of the swimming contest here at the National Sports Festival. Lots riding on it. Everyone's waiting to see what kind of tone we'll be setting here early in the meet. Swimmers were slow to get to their position. When the official says take your marks, you've got to get down in a hurry. You'll notice some of these athletes doing a track start with 1 foot behind them. They're lane 3 from the bottom. In fact, many of the swimmers did split leg their start. It's a start that's been used successfully by Rowdy Gaines in last summer's Olympic Games. At this point in the race, what the athletes are trying to do is to find themselves into a comfortable rut or a pace that they can maintain. Lane 1 at the bottom, lane 8 at the top of the screen. You're going to see the first couple of lengths, these swimmers will be keeping sort of an eye on each other and just trying to have a nice, long, and easy stroke. The race should take about 8.5 minutes.
Well, the National Sports Festival record for the race is 8 minutes 40 seconds, set back in 1982 by Michelle Richardson. And there are 15 lengths to go. The turn was good, and the early lead is Jennifer Linder, the 16-year-old out of Des Moines, Iowa.
Jennifer won 4 individual events at the meet that qualified her to compete here. She's probably one of the most talented all-around swimmers up and coming in American swimming. And the name you mentioned earlier, Michelle Richardson, the record holder, she is now one of America's top 2 distance freestylers.
Taking over the lead as they approach 100 meters is Catherine Creighton, who's 15 years old out of Cincinnati, to be a sophomore at Wyoming High School this fall, swimming for the Cincinnati Pepsi Marlins. And she's got the lead right now in lane 6, but it is Jennifer Linder alongside in lane 5, almost stroke for stroke as they approach the 150-meter mark. Again, we've got about 6 minutes to go. It's 16 lengths of this 50-meter pool. So John and I return to the natatorium here on the campus of LSU and the National Sports Festival of '85. Jim Kelly and John Neighbor back at the natatorium here on the campus of LSU in Baton Rouge, and a big surprise in lane 8 at the top of your screen, just now completing her 7th lap. It is the 14-year-old soon-to-be freshman Molly Magill out of Tampa, Florida, who swims for the Greater Tampa Swim Association, who's got the lead in this 16-lap race. Remember, it's a 50-meter pool, the women's finals of the 800-meter freestyle, and a big surprise, John.
Now, this here on the screen is the fight for second place. On your left, that's lane number 6, Catherine Creighton. Lane number 5 on the right, Jennifer Linder is the one we picked to win here. But the outside lane there at the top of the screen, lane 8, Molly Magill, she went out very, very fast. The race is half over at this flip turn right here. Molly Magill giving this hometown crowd in Baton Rouge a real thrill. She's swimming for the South. And really took it out very, very quickly. In fact, she's pulled away from the back of the field, and I think if anyone, only Jennifer Linder can catch her at this point.
Jennifer is a full 3 seconds behind Molly Magill.
You can see there Molly breathing to her right. She's looking back towards the field, keeping an eye on the competition. Once again, the race is just now about halfway through, and there's still a substantial amount to go. It's an 8-minute race. That's the equivalent of a 2-mile for the track athletes. And anything can happen still. Plenty of time.
Third place belongs right now to Catherine Creighton out of Cincinnati, Ohio in lane number 6. But it's Molly Magill in lane 8, your leader. 450 and change as she turned after 8 laps.
Try to look at the smooth stroking here on the right of your screen. That's Jennifer Linder. She's 5 feet 9 inches tall. Look how slow and effortless it appears. Notice on the recovery, she looks like very loose and very limber. She's giving her muscles a chance to recover when she's trying to get her arm out in front of her again, but looks like Molly Magill is still dominating at this point, having completed 10 lengths with 6 to go.
She touches right now in 5:29 and change as she is about to begin her 11th lap of a 16-lap race. Let's check the time on Linder. Well, she's now fallen another full second behind John Neighbor. 4 seconds off the pace set by the 14-year-old out of Tampa, Molly Magill. How about strategy now when the 800-meter freestyle? The first 200 meters, you're just kind of turning up the volume, I would guess.
Actually, they went out Molly Magill in the outside lane took it out much faster than is usual in this race. She really sprinted away, and I think that gave her the psychological edge. She does have a 4-second lead. Right now, you see Molly from behind. There she is at the top of the screen. There's her coach yelling for her right there, walking alongside her. Because he knows what kind of pain she's going through. Right now, her upper shoulders are probably numb. Her legs are, the temptation to back off on the kick in the legs is pretty easy. So there goes the coach, trying to keep her moving. He sees her fading a little bit. And here's a chance for Linder to come on strong with 4 lengths of the pool remaining.
John, is that an advantage when you're in lane 1 or lane 8? And this isn't the case with Molly. You can have your coach alongside and kind of drag you along?
You know, you raise a good point. This is the first major championship where the athletes are not seated. Usually the fastest swimmers off the preliminaries are in the center lanes, but because of the National Sports Festival program, we've got swimmers from the north in lanes 1 and 5, swimmers from the east in lanes 3 and 7. And consequently, it's not necessarily the fastest swimmers in the middle of the pool. The advantage here, Molly has established a strong lead, and she's pulled away from most of the field, and now Linder's coming home strong. Linder's in the better condition. She, unlike most of the swimmers, have not tapered or peaked for this one event, but is rather trying to save something up for the national championship still a few weeks away.
3 laps to go for Molly Magill. Her split time, 7:08:02. Let's check the time for Jennifer Linder, 7:15:12.
What a privilege to be so close to your coach and have him have the privilege to walk along with you.
That coach is Sid Cassidy on the South staff, by the way.
We're now entering the gun lap. 2 lengths to go. We're going to see the starter fire pistol. You hear it in the background there. That tells the swimmer you're leading and you've got 2 lengths remaining. And this is where everyone pulls out the stops.
7:44 with 2 laps to go for Molly Magill. 5 seconds behind now for Jennifer Linder. So Magill has increased her lead. The crowd really getting into it now.
Big overview angle. You can see now the lead that Molly Magill has developed over Jennifer Linder. There's not much Linder can do. Notice the 2-beat kick as the legs are sort of balancing the body but not providing a great deal of propulsion. There on the top of the screen with 1 length to go. Look at the foam begin to develop behind her. The southern crowd here is beginning to get on their feet. They sense a hometown winner.
8:09:55 with 1 lap to go for Molly Magill. Look at the coach.
Yeah, he's excited. He's excited. This is a real big boost for her. Molly Magill coming out of nowhere to win this major competition. And she does it going away, leaving everyone in the lurch. She led from the start. We call that a TV swim. We don't expect them to keep up that pace, but a fantastic job, and it must have hurt at least 3/4 of the race.
8:50.51 for Molly Magill, 14 years old, out of Tampa, Florida. In second place, Jennifer Linder, 8:57.25 out of Des Moines, Iowa. And in third place, it is Kathy Creighton, 9 minutes, I believe, for the bronze. First place to Molly Magill, second place to Jennifer Linder, and third place, we've got it, Kathy Creighton. The finals are in for the women's 800-meter freestyle. And let's go back now to Jim Simpson.